but back to the old
When
abandonment.
you were locked up, you said you were feeling that the most. Believe it.
Yeah.
Right? When it's supposed to come back,
Yeah.
it will. Abandonment is real with the friends and feeling like he had to take everyone out of my life for me to recognize that being alone was actually the best thing that could happen to me. Right? And I resisted it at all costs. I did not want it. To this day, I was just saying goodbye to friends.
That's what I was going to say. The more you resist, the more things persist, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I had to learn to go with the flow. I had to surrender. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You had to surrender. Like I remember, I got to a point right before I went to trial, and I was just, back then I used to pray, and I still do, but it's just in a different format now. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I'd be like, if these people that are supposed to care for me, whether it's the mother of my children, or my daughter at that point, and friends and so on and so forth, if these people really do care for me, like, show me. You know what I mean? And then I didn't really like the answer, but the way the universe showed me was like, okay, I'm gonna make you sit down for like 8 years and shit. And we're gonna see who's around for those 8 years.
That's real.
So you ask for it, I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? So,
I had a similar prayer where I was like, I keep fucking up. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to do what I think is good. But I keep getting the same results. So I'm like, either it's them or it's me or something's going on. So I prayed the prayer of, show me what I can't see. I want to know. I know it's scary to see these things because sometimes we hide those things from ourselves on purpose to help us. But I was like pulling my hair out. I was like, I can't live like this anymore. Show me what I can't see. And slowly but surely, that's what happened. And that's what led to the first book, because I finally came face to face with self-accountability, personal responsibility, and not trying to blame the people that were interacting with me in my life. More so, I was like, if this is really a recovering sex addict, then let me share some of my healing with the people as I go through my experiences. And that's what the book turned out to be. I started right back where I lost my marriage. I was married for 16 years. And
that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. So at what point did you get married?
I was with him from 2002, and we separated in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. My oldest son was 8 months old when I met my ex-husband, and he's now 21, 22.
Okay.
So he was with us for that whole time, and by the time we were separating, he was a teenager, right? Mm-hmm. So it was traumatizing, because it was also during the most, that time of your life, your late 20s to 40, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that was my time. Mm-hmm. And I gave everything that I thought I was giving to this person. And that's
in your 20s, you went from, like, you still being promiscuous and so on and so forth, right?
So in the beginning, the early parts of 20s.
And then later on,
I was actually doing this workshop for kids called Blueprint for Life, mm-hmm. which was a hip-hop edutainment thing where I would go to schools, I would bring on MCs, B-boys, graffiti artists, turntablists, and we would have school assemblies and talk to the people about, values and how to set up blueprints for your life based on values. Mm-hmm. And one of the break dancers, I fell in love with him. I was like, oh, this is my guy. And the reason why I love him. The reason why I fell in love with him was because he was the first man to defend me. So I was, that longing for who's going to help me, who's going to protect me.
Knight shining armor.
Right? But he was also broken. Mm-hmm. Love to him, right? Mm-hmm. But so I married him, and 9 months after that, we had our son. Not 9 months after we got pregnant. Then 9 months after that, we had our son, and then our relationship was over. Because when you have children, a whole other set of emotions start to come out.
So how long were you married?
Like, I was with him for 18 months.
And then, so after that, and then you met
Yeah, so when my son was 8 months old, I went to Grenada. It's in the first part of the book. And I met my current ex-husband. And we were together till 2016.
And you had a son.
And we had a son I got pregnant 3 months before we were going to get married. And I had called off the wedding because I got a sense that something was going on behind my back. And so I threw my ring. I was like, this isn't happening. But then I'd been living with him for so long. We're a family. I couldn't rip that away from my son. At least I didn't think that I could. And so I got married regardless. And only for it to be over in 2016. So we had our son in 2012. And that was I don't know where the hell that kid came from, but he is amazing. Like both of my kids, they have that spiritual thing. You know, one's really quiet, the other one's more extroverted, but they have that vision.
Yeah, I met them.
They have that vision, especially the little one. He sees things because he's with me as I've healed, right? My older one wasn't raised by the person I am now. He still got the woman in transition. So I'm sure.
What do you mean by that? Like how do you think he sees you in that
I know he loves me. I know he loves his mother, but I can't speak for black men. But I can see that black men have a very interesting relationship with how they see their mother, depending on how that mother is. And my family, everybody wanted to help raise my son. So I didn't have that one-on-one solo thing with just my son. So everybody kind of contributed. And I've always talked to him. He's always loved me. But it's more so I didn't get to teach him how to move because there were so many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many hands in the pot.
Yeah, and so it kind of handicapped him, I think.
You know what's crazy? Same person I was talking about yesterday, I was telling him, I don't know if you heard of Boosie.
Yeah.
Boosie.
Yeah.
So Boosie, he has 7 children.
The comedian, right?
No, the rapper.
The rapper, yes.
So he has 7 children, and he's got like 4 or 5 baby moms or something like that. And he posted the other day that he feels he's a failure as a man because none of his children live under his roof. And I agree with that, like big time. Like I feel like it's a disservice to have your children not living with you. That's why it's like for me, even as a young person, I wasn't really too crazy about having a bunch of women pregnant because I don't see I can't be in 2 places at once. What I mean,
so this is
unless we living like that, with all the ladies, sister wives, that's how we live it.
Yeah,
but
that's even better, right?
I mean? So, but society nowadays, especially in the Western world, frown on that. So it ain't like that. You know what I mean? So it's a disservice.
I have a big grievance with that because I feel like the legal system really bends towards women in that situation, and so many of these men are being distanced from their children. And it's really unfair. It's something that bothers me quite a bit because no matter what I've gone through with both my exes, I can't even imagine trying to make it more difficult for my children to have a relationship with their father. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're one of one.
And when I found out that was rare,
I'm gonna tell you, one of one. It's like people weaponize their children.
Yeah,
they weaponize their children. It's just nasty out there. Like, you know what I mean? That's even my empress I'm with now. Like I could see. You know what I mean? Like push comes to shove or whatever. I know for a fact that we're gonna make it work, whether we're together or not.
For sure, no, 100%.
And I rate that with you and your ex-husband, because he was there at the
both my exes were there.
Oh yeah, he was the other one.
I don't have a problem with my ex-husbands. They know each other. Okay. I made sure that everybody knows one another. We're not secrets.
Transparency.
The secrets will kill your whole family.
Well, at a point you ain't got nothing. You can't hide nothing. You put it in print.
And that's the other thing. Like my ex-husband's written about in the prologue of my first book, and I read it to him first, and then I also showed him the movie first, and I said I would really love you to be there. And so he knows my heart. He knows that this is all.
There's
there's none. It was all circumstantial. He recognizes what I've gone through. He apologized, and I apologize back. So when you get that kind of true sincerity, tell each other you're sorry. Like stop it.
Your that second marriage lasted a long time.
Yeah.
What brought it to the end?
I think that as I grew, I think I expected more of the man that I was with than he was maybe at the place to give. I don't know what his journey was, right? But I was at a place where I needed more from my husband, and being somebody who did have a relationship with God and intimately reads the Bible, the Quran, and many other like books of spiritual books, I know that him as my husband could have been different towards me and could have been there for me. Like I'm doing books, I'm doing these. That woman still existed then, but I was like non-existent because I did everything for him. And I think that if he had poured into me a little bit more and supported me, who knows?
There was an imbalance.
There was an imbalance. There was like people very competitive for some reason. I don't understand when people are competitive in their relationships.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, it happens.